Imagine remembering every single day of your life, all in perfect detail. For those with highly superior autobiographical memory, or HSAM for short, this is their reality.
I remember everything that's personally happened to me since I was born.
That's Rebecca Sharukh. I was fascinated by this condition, so I called her up to find out more.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
How are you going?
Oh, I'm doing all right. It's a very wet Saturday morning here. How are you going?
Side note, in this moment, I just realized Rebecca will remember that this day was a wet morning forever.
So, you remember everything in great detail?
People can remember what they did last Saturday, but I can remember what I did Saturday 10 years ago.
What about a memory from when you were just a baby?
When I was 12 days old, I was lying down on the fur car seat in my parents' car, and I was staring up at the steering wheel, and I thought, what is that?
Rebecca is one of only 60 people worldwide to have been identified with having HSAM.
All through my teenage years, I thought that everybody remembered in this kind of way. I thought it was completely normal.
It wasn't until she was 21 when her parents decided to submit her to the University of California to undergo 2 years of testing. After this, she was officially identified as having HSAM. Since memories can come to mind unexpectedly any time of day, a negative memory like this can make living with HSAM difficult.
Mum was putting me in this itchy satin dress and I was crying because I didn't like it. And Mum gave me this Minnie Mouse toy and I couldn't say anything at the time, but her face terrified me.
But on most days, HSAM is a gift. Rebecca can recall happy memories and moments when times get tough.
A good memory, it makes me so thankful about having this kind of HSAM memory.
Thanks for chatting, Rebecca.
Yep, thanks. Bye.
To go to a cocktail party and to see an hors d'oeuvre that has a toothpick sticking up from it. The point of that toothpick makes me feel shocks of electricity down the back of my legs. People are perplexed by that. My name is Carolyn Hart. I have mirror touch synesthesia. Mirror touch synesthesia is a conflation of the senses. The things that you see are felt on your skin. If I see another person's injuries, well, I feel that in my own body. If I see someone get touched, I feel that on my skin. I'm a massage therapist. I think my mirror touch synesthesia has really helped me. When someone tells me what they're feeling in their body, well, I feel it in my body, and I think it makes me more able to help that person. Every single day, I will see something that triggers waves of pain. It makes it really hard for me to participate in a lot of contemporary entertainment. Like, I really love Game of Thrones, and I can't watch the program because it's so violent. I also have really positive experiences. When I watch ballet, I feel my muscles fire. When I see them executing pirouettes, I feel like I'm spinning. And that's not an emotional sense of, gee, this is really lovely and so beautiful to watch. I feel it in my body. I can't control it. If I was to lose my synesthesia, I would lose part of myself that would be irretrievable and irreplaceable.
I describe it as having bubblegum, and once it's lost all its flavour, you have just a piece of rubber that you chew over and over again. That is essentially what food is like for me when I put food into my mouth. My name is Malik, and I have lost my sense of taste. I suffered a cold, and I started getting a metallic taste in my mouth. Once that finally left, took my sense of taste with it. It took me a few weeks to actually identify that it was my taste because I could smell perfectly. I only eat foods now which spend very little time in the mouth. Because I don't extract any flavour, the idea of a chocolate bar or a steak where you would chew it in order to bring out the juices and the flavours of it, there's no enjoyment from it. So I find myself eating very light foods like salads and rice. And also I use the advantage of adding herbs in order to make the smell sensation quite enjoyable. I also find that spice very important. Spice is not actually something you taste, it's something you feel. It gives us that sort of tingle in my mouth. You end up with a rather peculiar eating pattern that people look at you funny because you're putting chilies on your breakfast cereal and you've put in a mustard sauce on pretty much a lot of the food you eat. And almost 3 years now, we're still none of the wiser as to why it's gone or getting my sense of taste back.
It's like my world is washed out, and I see fewer shades of color than most people do.
So normal people see 1 million colors. I may see as many as 100 million.
My name is Wendy. I'm a producer at CNN, and I am colorblind.
My name is Maureen Seberg. I'm a tetrachromat, and I'm an author. Tetrachromacy is the presence of a fourth cone class in your retina. If I keep naming my invisible colors, maybe I'll have my own Crayola box one day.
When I was in kindergarten, my teacher called my parents because I was coloring the leaves of my trees and the trunks of my trees the same color, because I couldn't really see the difference between green and brown.
The only time it was ever overwhelming is a paint contractor came to my house and brought no fewer than 32 samples before I was satisfied that it was a true beige.
When I pick out clothes, that's hard. I have been known to buy the outfit that the mannequin is wearing because I know that that goes together.
You don't want to go clothing shopping with me because the salespeople tell me, but it matches, and I can only look at them sympathetically and keep looking.
I never think like, oh, if I weren't colorblind, it would be so much easier to get dressed in the morning. It's kind of part of me.
I guess I'm a unicorn or something.
What is synesthesia? Everybody who has it experiences it in different ways. So I asked a handful of people from around the world about their experience.
So somewhere in my brain, the senses get mixed together. When I experience one, I'm also experiencing another that is completely unrelated.
What do you mean?
I color code numbers in my head.
So ever since I was a child, I was able to taste words.
If I'm in physical pain, I experience the pain in color and shape.
Sounds, melodies, and in fact soundtracks also has a color to me.
So what sort of associations would you make?
The number 3 is blue.
Number 3 is light blue.
3 is yellow.
Number 6 is a flirty woman.
4 is green, 2 is red, 42 is green-red. That's my favorite number because I like the colors red and green together.
But wait, it gets weirder.
For example, I love Flashdance songs. She's a Maniac is blue one for me, but What a Feeling is yellow.
The word people tastes like meatballs in tomato sauce.
Violins as navy blue rectangles moving from right to left.
The word English tastes like a slice of lemon. The sound of a banjo tastes like Oreos.
Crazy, right? But a life without it?
My life without synesthesia. I don't want to imagine.
More empty.
My life would be a lot more bland.
The world would be very flat and not as colorful.
I would be bored. I started painting music just because I would try to explain synesthesia so many times. It never quite made as much sense to describe it verbally. So I thought it would be best just to put it on canvas just because I've always been an artist, and it made it much easier for people to be able to understand it. My name is Melissa McCracken, and I am a synesthetic artist. Synesthesia is a neurological condition where your brain is basically cross-wired, so certain stimuli will come in and it'll create the wrong response in my brain. So for me, that's listening to music and it's translated into color in my head. I'm going to paint Superstition by Stevie Wonder. I love the song Superstition just because it's dynamic and funky and just fun and expressive. Whenever I start a piece, I have to listen to the song first to even know what kind of colors I'd like to use. There are some songs that I hate that I like the way that they look a little bit. Like a lot of pop music can be pink and purple and, you know, just all these fun, bright colors, but the song's not that good. So one or the other, I appreciate it somehow. You know, you kind of really have to be in the right vibe to be able to paint. If you're not in the right vibe, you're not gonna make anything good. I think the prettiest genre of music is jazz music. I love blues and golds and whites, and it just seems very pearly and iridescent a little bit. When I listened to Etta James at last, the thing that stuck out most to me was just her voice at the very beginning when she goes into the at last. At last. And it's just a very bright and but also warm sort of feeling, very kind of classic jazzy, which jazz music generally has a very gold and blue sort of look to it. Music has always been a very big part of my life. My older brother is very musical, and when I think back of him playing the guitar for me, I think of the colors of what those memories are. I was always a little disappointed because I was never very musically inclined. It was really cool to have a way to bring music into, you know, my life in a different sort of way.